Yo, what is up, guys? It is Mr. Stamkos here, back with a new series, and I know new series from the past don't go on long, no longer than 8 episodes. Well, that's what my Morrowind one is at right now, but I might get that going again. But anyways, today I have here the Hockey Forecaster magazine, and this magazine has a pretty interesting thing in it. It lists the top 100 prospects, according to NHL Fantasy Rank prospects at least. And so there's 100 of them, and we're gonna go over each and every one of them in their own separate videos. Give me a minute. So as I was saying, guys, this Hockey Forecaster magazine, it's pretty cool. Has the top 100 fantasy prospect rankings, and we're gonna do a separate video for each of them, looking over their stats, saying if I agree or disagree with this ranking compared to other players above them. And it's pretty interesting. So, the Forecaster's 100th fantasy prospect rank from the Ottawa Senators is Vitaly Abramov. Now, Vitaly Abramov is a guy who was drafted in the 3rd round, 89th overall by the Blue Jackets. I can actually check here. 65th overall by the Blue Jackets. Back a few years ago, in 2016. And honestly, I think it was kind of a steal, that pick. He had 93 points his draft year in the QMJHL on a Gatineau Olympiques team. So that year he had 63 games played, 38 goals, 55 assists for 93 points, which, very solid for a 17, 18-year-old coming into the season. Just really solid season for Abramov. And I think a few of the concerns with him was his skating and his defensive game were really the big ones, and that's why he probably got taken so low. But now he's looking like a pretty solid prospect in the Ottawa Senators system. He was part of the A trade, which I will mention after, this next bit. So a pretty solid draft year. His draft plus 1 year, so 18, 19-year-old Abramov, he had 66 games played, 46 goals, 58 assists for 104 points, which led the entire QMJHL that season. And honestly, at that point, a 19-year-old drafted in the 3rd round after a 93-point season in his draft year, you're looking at a pretty solid-looking prospect. Some really high hopes for him. Also, that season, he played 4 games for Cleveland in the AHL. And he had 4 points, a goal, and 3 assists. So he was point per game in the AHL that season as well, which is pretty darn good for a 19-year-old coming out of QMJHL. But, yeah. So now we move on to this season. He starts playing some AHL action. Gets off started with the Cleveland Monsters, and gets shipped off to the Ottawa Senators in the Matt Duchene trade, which I didn't make a video on that, but I think Columbus lost that trade. Ottawa still has the pieces they got. They still got Abramov, they got Vilja out of that, I believe. I'm just trying to look here. I really don't know who they got. I'm trying to look at their draft board here. Oh, they got Lassie Thompson. I believe they got Columbus's 1st round pick that for this year. So yeah, they got Lassie Thompson out of it as well. 2 solid prospects for Duchene, who went off to Nashville anyways. So yeah. And this past season, Abramov with Cleveland and Belleville in the AHL had 70 games played. He only had 16 goals, 13 assists for 29 points, and was a -2, which is a huge step back from what, his point per game production at the end of the 17-18 year. But still pretty solid for a 19-20-year-old to come in, rookie season, get 30 points, especially having being on 2 different teams. I think it's pretty solid for Abramov, but now we're going to go on my opinion of Abramov. I think Abramov one day could definitely be a top 6 forward in the NHL. Whether it's on Ottawa or not, I believe it can definitely happen. He has a skill. He's developed better. And I think I have him a bit higher on my list than other people do. But I really do like Vitaly Abramov. And I think that he should definitely be higher than this. He gets off to a bit of a hot start this year in the AHL. Bring him up, play him, especially with a rebuilding Senators team. You definitely want to try to play your young guns as much as possible. Develop them. And, comparing Abramov to guys that are higher than him, I'm just going to try to find one here. Like a guy like Shane Wright, who's 2022 draft eligible. We don't even know who this kid is, and, he's higher than Abramov. I think Abramov should definitely be higher on this list than he is. Maybe in the 80s, the 70s. I don't see him going any higher than that, but I have Abramov currently as my 74th best prospect in the NHL. He's that solid. He's pretty solid. And he's going to get the job done. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe, and, I will see you all in the next one. Maybe Morrowind, maybe NHL 15 Calgary Flames GM mode. But anyways, for now, bye.